Hello. I have Lynn here with me today from
Rowan Waters Recreations.
and
It's a mouthful.
I don't know what we're going to be talking about today, whatever comes through with the universe, or you may just have to read our minds because we really can't speak.
Words are hard.
Words are hard, but on that note, are you ready to be the being you were born to be? Let's have tea with the universe. Hello, Lynn.
Well, hello, Cynthia, and how are you today?
I am doing quite well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. That's
good.
I got that weird little lump still that won't go away, which is making it sound like I should be singing Smelly Cats from Friends.
And which is why you chose the throat chakra card.
Yes, yeah, so there's still some stuff that needs to be worked out through there.
Hi, Yvonne.
Hello, Yvonne. How are you today? So I know you and I were kind of talking a little bit before we went on camera about topics that could come up. And I found it very interesting that both of us were pondering the construct of linear time.
Yes.
So last week I had some people come in for a reading, and when we were finished, one of them had asked, do time travelers exist? To which, of course, I replied, of course they do. Because anytime we meet our future self, or anytime we have our future self meet us, that is a form of time travel. So one of the other things that I've been meditating on is the fact that time as we perceive it on the physical plane is not actually how time exists.
Absolutely not. But the way I look at it is we are a product of our environment. And if you're told always be on time, you're going to live your life around that. However, I believe that because I've experienced it, we can all slow down time and we can all speed time up.
Yes.
So time is limiting, and I choose to be limitless.
Well, but then there's the thing is, if you know how to manipulate time, it's not limiting.
Exactly. So I'm limitless.
Right. And then one of the other things that I've heard a lot, and it's probably something that a lot of people have heard, is whatever is yours will never pass you by.
That is so true.
Right? So it happens precisely when it's supposed to.
Yes.
So if time was in fact linear, how is that supposed to be possible? Because you have a finite amount of time that you are here in the physical plane. So if you didn't have the ability to manipulate time, or to be able to go through it in its cyclical patterns rather than a straight line, how are you going to be able to accomplish all the things you're supposed to accomplish within one lifetime?
You're not. And this can go down so many different avenues. There are so many different ways and things that we can say about time.
Right. Well, and you and I have talked about like interdimensional stuff
Yes.
as well. So depending on what dimension you're in, time is relative. Like you were talking about Akashic Records.
Absolutely. Like when I went into my Akashic Records, I got up one morning and thought, I'm about to go for a run. Hey, let me visit my Akashic Records for a few minutes before I head out. It was probably 7:30 in the morning. I literally thought I was in there for 10 minutes and came back out at about 4:30 in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
It was unreal. So in their time, it's what you make of it, I guess.
Well, but within that frame of reference, when you accessed your Akashic Records, it was it was more than 10 minutes worth of information that you got.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
And that's how we make sense of it here. Just like dreaming. What do they say? The average dream is no more than 3 minutes.
Yeah. And some dreams that I've had, especially ones where I'm about to wake up. So those are usually your most vivid.
Yes.
When you're in a cycle where you're waking up. So I have had dreams where I've had an entire week go by within the dream. And like you said, it's only 3 minutes long.
Or lifetimes, or,
I don't know how to spell that up.
Oh, wow. Oh, hi, Leah.
Hi, Leah.
Yeah, the dream state is the perfect place because not everyone remembers astral traveling or has, well, I believe we all do it. So I'm going to go with not everyone remembers. However, we remember being in our dream state for the most part. And that's it exactly. I mean, depending on what time you go to bed, let's say you have 8 hours of sleep, you have way more than 8 hours of dreams.
Right.
So when we look at it in that time sense, time does not exist in our dreams. Like the amount of things, you can close your eyes and think you've closed them for 10 minutes and it'd be 2 hours, or close them and you think it's been 2 hours and it's been 10 minutes. With the amount of thoughts that go through your mind. There's so much I can say, but words just leave me.
Well, and I think too, a lot of people feel that frustration with, I don't
Hi, Heather.
have enough time, because we have been told from little that this is how time works. There are minutes, there are days.
Don't be late.
Yeah.
Be on time. Time. You have to accomplish this in this amount of time. Do this in this amount of time.
But I think to a certain extent, it is helpful because being in a physical form and being like having certain limitations within that, because when you're in energetic form, you can do anything instantaneously. In the physical form, you can still do that, but there is so much more to work through in order to get to that state. So I think with linear time, that does help to kind of focus where we're going. But I think so many people get caught up in, I don't have enough time, that it becomes, like you said, it becomes a limitation. It becomes a prison for people that don't understand that it's not linear.
Or an excuse.
Time is very fluid. It's just like anything else. Yeah, you can use it as an excuse.
Absolutely. Or, yeah. Again, my words. I have no words.
So Leah had a question.
Yes, I saw that. Thank you, Leah. About the Akashic Records, I think that's something that we can get on in another segment that we can touch base on. Perhaps I can have someone on.
Well, but just to do like a quick, one of the easiest ways to do it is to do a either lucid dreaming meditation or do a meditation with the intention to visit your Akashic Records as you're falling asleep.
I know
so
it's
then you become accustomed to it. So it's like some people access it quickly, some people don't.
And there are sites that don't recommend doing it on your own without proper training. I did it without the proper training. I enjoyed being there.
What is the proper training?
I don't know.
Something had to start somewhere. So who was the first person that started it, and then that became the proper training?
You know what? Honestly, I get my training out in the universe. If I want to learn something, I just go have tea with the universe, and I get filled in. I don't have to go to a book. I don't have to really go to the web. I enjoy these chats. I enjoy learning from the people in my tribe. But when I want to learn in more detail, I have tea with the universe.
Well, and it's nice to be able to bounce your ideas off of other people.
Absolutely.
But in essence, you have to trust yourself and your ability to do things. I think we give a lot of our power away.
Hi, Christine.
Like, I think a lot of people tend to want to look to somebody who is a higher or has a bit more knowledge, when in fact you have all that knowledge.
Well, and what that comes down to is
coming up.
not thinking you're good enough and not trusting yourself, and always, hey, little buddy, and always thinking that you have to look out when really you just have to look within. So Doodle wants his 5 minutes of fame.
Yes. And this is going to be wildly popular because there's a cat in it.
Not just any cat, Doodle.
It's Doodle.
What have you heard, Leah, that you shouldn't go in without training, or that it's easy to do if you listen to a meditation?
Probably without training.
Probably. My advice is do what you want. Just ask the universe, lay in bed, meditate on it, sit with it, and the universe will give you what you can handle.
Well, I think a lot of times, and this could be with the time constraint as well, like we tend to limit ourselves. We tend to create obstacles where there are none. And each one of us has this innate gift to know exactly what is right for us. So if you don't feel comfortable doing it on your own, then don't do it on your own and get someone to help. If you think, no, I got this and I'm okay doing this on my own, then do it. You know, with rules and regulations, and we're just inundated with it all.
We are.
That's for the masses. That's not for people who are self-aware.
But with that being said, the universe, if you don't have the tools, if the universe isn't going to give you the tools, you cannot get into your Akashic records, no matter how hard you try.
Right, because the universe is like, sorry, that's not for you.
Exactly. So with or without training, you can get all the training in the world and still not be able to do it.
Right.
So, I mean, Leah, if this is something you want to try, then try. Ask the universe for guidance and listen to the right meditations. And I mean, for me, I love laying on my back with my arms at my side and just the deep breathing and the listening, and then away I go. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I used to do lucid dreaming to access, but see, I would end up on the astral plane. So the Akashic records are on the astral plane, but
backwards. Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry. But to me, when I would do the lucid dream into the astral plane, there were other places that I would visit.
Absolutely.
And Akashic was a giant library to me, like the Library of Congress.
So with you in there, how did you see it? Was it books?
Well, there was a bunch of different things. So depending on how I get in there, so one of the lucid dream things that I like to do is where you take all of your fears and anxiety and everything and you put them in a well. And then you put the lid on the well and you walk away from it. So then you walk into the clearing of Akashic. So when I do that one, a lot of times when I access my own personal Akashic, it is the time flow river.
Okay.
So depending on where you jump into the river, forwards or backwards in time,
hi, Tony,
is what you access. So when I first started doing that one, there were only a few spots where I was allowed to jump into that river.
Mm-hmm.
And as I worked at it, I could go backwards and forwards through time. Now, sometimes I didn't remember my visits, but a lot of times I did. So the time flow river is something that's good for beginners. And then as I progress, there's the Hall of Doors, where you can go through the different doors. And then there is the book, where if you want to access something specific in your past or your future, you can go to specific volumes, specific books, and each one of the sets of shelves is a different lifetime, and you go in and you can access those memories there. But it's the same thing, again, if sometimes when you go, you have memory of it, and other times you don't.
Yeah, and see, for me, it's completely different than that. I don't get books. I don't have the river. I go into this abyss, and there are hope chests everywhere, antique hope chests, smaller ones, larger ones.
I never get the chests.
I love the chests. And I can open some and others I can't. And it's just endless.
Your biggest one is the one from the Roaring 20s?
Probably, yes. But it's phenomenal because I go in there and it's not paper that comes out. It's memories in the chest, just memories and words
and feelings
and feelings. Like it's just and that's how it is for me. So
And you're very correct, Christine. A lot of people do put up so many boundaries.
Absolutely.
We make things so much more difficult for ourselves than it ever needs to be. One of the people that I really like listening to is Esther Hicks.
Esther, yes.
When she is channeling Abraham.
He's trying to own you.
Because one of the things that Abraham talks about is owning your own strength.
Yes.
Right? And somebody had mentioned something about the Bible, and not to discredit the Bible, but it is one of the oldest books, or like the Bhagavad Gita, or whichever one you want, the Dharma. They mention, like, yeah, okay, that's good information to know, but why are you consulting something that was written over 2,000 years ago when you have your own personal guidance system that tells you exactly what you need to know to unlock any potential that you have here, right? So there's another thing where it's, the older something is, when it comes to texts or being written down, it seems like it gets this etheric, like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing in the world because it's 500 years old. But maybe it's not. At the time, it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But as a species, as we move forward in linear time on the physical plane, we are evolving.
Absolutely. And we're opening up, and we're becoming more in tune with ourselves and with our higher selves, which is phenomenal.
Right.
Phenomenal.
And as we access that, hopefully a lot of the dogmas that we have and the way that we think about certain things will evolve with us.
They are, absolutely. Like when we look around, look at how many people are opening up and how many people are saying, you know what, less medication,
right,
more inner self-work.
Well, and the constructs of what we've created, there's a reason why people are feeling so uncomfortable, because we don't fit in those constructs anymore. There has to be an expansion and a change. Hey, Tony.
And the Akashic Records are unique for everyone, and
yes,
absolutely amazing. It's a different story for everyone.
Oh, definitely. Like there are some parallels as to what certain people see, because a lot of times Akashic will take from your own personal repertoire of like your experiences and stuff, and use that. So it's like, I'm surprised that I don't get the little chests or the steamer trunks.
I love them.
My grandma had one down in her basement, and I loved that thing.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm surprised that I don't
Maybe
get
you will
that.
next time.
Well, I don't know. I might. I'm open to everything, but I find that I'm more drawn to water, or I'm more drawn to books, or whatever. Right?
Yeah, and since I was little, I was always told I had the key to something grand that I was unaware of.
Unlocks the chest.
That's exactly how it goes. And then there's that huge chest that has yet to open, right? I go to it. It's the most beautiful one. It's exquisite, of course. And it's the one that doesn't open.
Right.
So when I'm ready, my key will unlock that chest.
Right. But you're just not quite there yet.
Not yet. Soon.
I was going to say, you feel yourself getting closer, though,
I
right?
do, yeah. But I mean, even in the short amount of time that you and I have known one another, I feel I've grown tremendously. So
actually, so do I.
Yeah.
And we haven't known each other that long. Like, what? It was October last year.
Yeah.
So we've known each other for
just over a year.
A year and 2 months.
Oh, yeah, not even. It was the end of October.
Yeah, a year and 1 month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot has happened in this past year.
You know, that's what Brian and I were talking about as well. Like, and that's another thing that falls into the category of time. The amount of stuff that has happened in this year, like we'll be talking and we'll say, you know, for example, the weekly wand. Well, we did that last year. And it's like, no, we didn't.
We started it this year.
Yeah. And how many good things have happened this year. There have been some pretty crappy things, but the good outweighs the negative by far.
But here's the thing, though. It's like, were they really crappy?
Hi, Christy.
Like, they seemed horrible at the time.
But
Hey,
they
Christy.
weren't. They put me on the track,
Right.
the road to where I need to be.
So they were the catalyst to create
Yes.
the change that needed to happen in order for the better things to come through your life.
And this was a phenomenal year for me.
Mhm.
Growth, especially growth and creation and meeting so many people, like my tribe.
Well, and it's only going to get better because 2020 being, like, if you want to talk about angel numbers or anything like that,
Yes.
2020 is a year of manifestation. So it is about claiming your power.
Absolutely.
So all this past year, the whole whirlwind roller coaster,
It's just
energy.
preparing you.
Yeah, it's basically been ripping away, like quite literally ripping away all the old stuff that we've been hanging on to. This year didn't give us any excuses to keep it. And so 2020 is now, it's like, okay, you've gotten rid of all that excess baggage. Let's bring some good stuff in.
It's so true, because I started my purge in February of 2019. And it took all year, and I'm still purging. But it initially started in 2020. And then getting my new phone and doing my phone transfer and losing all of my contacts. I lost so many people
What
that
a
I
stroke
just...
of luck!
That's what it was. And Tony and I talked about that briefly online, because I had said, the people that are meant to be in my life, their number will reappear.
Oh, and Tony is saying it's like we've known each other for a long time.
But it really is.
We really have known each
Yeah.
other for a long time. Just a short while in this incarnation, really.
Yeah.
I definitely know that I have had people from my soul group
Reappear.
Yeah. And for a long time in my life, my grandmother was the only person in my soul group. And when she passed away, I kind of got lost a little.
Mm-hmm.
And I got, depressed and down on myself because I was like, well, I don't have anybody.
Where are my people?
Right. And so that's another thing that kind of came up where it's like, why am I getting down on myself when I need to be expressing what I want, not what I don't want? So that's another
Yes.
thing that Abraham always talks about when Esther's channeling them, is that whatever you focus on is what you get.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative. So
You get it.
And one of the other things is like, it doesn't matter what you say out loud, it's how you feel,
Yeah.
right? So there is a second piece to that, where when you say something out loud, if you don't feel it, the universe isn't going to listen to what you said, it's going to listen to how you felt.
That's why you have to believe it. And again, Brian and I have had this talk. I've had this talk with my kids. Even if it isn't in existence right now, but
it is.
speak about it. They don't believe that when I say that. So I have to
True,
say,
okay.
so speak about it as though it is.
Right.
And you're like, well, but it's not. And I'm like, but believe that it is. Manifest it. Believe that it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be there. Like, I don't know.
And, you always kind of look for signs, or you look for different stuff. And at the same, well, because I know why you're laughing. And I'm going to explain that the same people that came for the reading and were asking about time travel, one of them was quite skeptical when they came. Like, I don't know if this chick, she's kind of crazy. I don't know if she's the real deal.
Yeah.
So as I was going back and forth doing the reading, I did it was a group oracle. I read them both at the same time. I was trying to shuffle some cards for them. And as I was shuffling, I just kept I'm like, you're kind of a dark horse. I said, do you know what I mean by that? And she's like, no, not really. And I said, well, my nephew is in the Marines. And he was a member of the Dark Horse Brigade, or like chapter, whatever. I can't remember the name of what it's actually called. And it was a special forces type thing. And she just kind of went, oh my God. I'm like, what? So I kind of went through and explained what the Dark Horse thing was and everything. And then I'm like, okay, why did you freak out? She's like, because seconds before you said that, I was talking to my dad and my mom who have crossed over. And I was like, if this is real, if this is something that I need to pay attention to, can she mention something about the military or like a bugler or something stupid like that, right?
Huh.
So not only did I mention the military, but I mentioned Marines.
Yep.
Her father was a Marine.
So, and then my
goosebumps
have goosebumps.
But she was asking for a sign. And I said,
you get
okay,
it. Yeah.
You just got your sign. Don't ask for another one. I'm like, that is 100% beyond a doubt
your sign. Yeah.
But it was also my sign too, because every once in a while when you're doing this stuff, it's like, am I imagining this? Like, I know that it's true and I know that it's real, but every once in a while that little bit of doubt still creeps in. And you're like, am I doing this for the right reasons? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And it was also confirmation for me that, yeah, you've got this ability to be in tune with the universe.
It's your gift. Share it.
Right?
Yep.
So it's not just for the people that we read, it's for us as well.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of your gifts, can you tell us a little bit about Rowan Water Sprite Creations?
Well, Rowan Water Sprite Creations started when I was about, let's see, I graduated high school when I was 17. So it would have been around there, 17, 18, is when I did a meditation and a vision quest for my magical name, and it was Rowan Water Sprite. And I've always been very artistically inclined, but it had more to do with magic and witchcraft at that time. So it was doing spells and rituals and spell components and all that kind of stuff. So as it's evolved throughout the years, I've showcased my artwork through that as well. Done markets and what have you, but mostly now it's hand-created stuff. So I do books of shadows, grimoires for people. I do spell stuff and all that, but I also do readings. So readings was always something that was kind of in the background behind my art, but it's kind of transmuted into a little bit of everything. So I've created cards using my art that I use in readings. So it's all kind of amalgamated into being of service to the universe. So I don't possess the gift.
You're just a conduit.
I'm just a conduit, right?
And now
if
someone wanted you to commission something for them, how would they get a hold of you?
Well, I have the Facebook page. So it's Rowan Water Sprite Creations. I'm on Instagram under Rowan Water Sprite. Actually, if you search Rowan Water Sprite, it's me on everything. I've got DeviantArt. I'm on Discord. I'm on Twitch. I enter social media here, except for Twitter. I never understood Twitter. I have my Facebook connected to my Twitter, but I don't actually ever go on there. So I don't know. But yeah, so the easiest way to get a hold of me is probably through my Facebook page.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a bunch of other ways you can get.
And I mean, worst case scenario, or not worst case scenario, but if all else fails, the Weekly Wand.
Oh yeah, I'm around. I do stuff there.
You know, a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
You know, I like slap the paper together.
Is that all?
Make it like mediocre, you know.
Do you make the paper beautiful? Is that you?
I try to.
Yeah, you do.
I think it looks fantastic, so.
I agree.
Speaking of, it looks amazing in color.
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. And you're going to want to follow the wand in the next couple of weeks to see what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah,
see what
so
we're up to.
If any of you had actually caught the wand that came out on Monday, actually I updated I forgot to put that on the website.
Lynn.
But I did update the website. I just didn't put that on there. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay. So if you saw the update on the website, you might have seen a little thing where the Hocus Pocus usually is about some changes coming to the Weekly Wand. And they're pretty exciting.
They are
actually.
extremely exciting, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that.
But yeah, and that's another thing too. It's like just coming from what we learned from March 4th to now.
Oh,
that's what, like
goodness.
nine months?
Yes.
Like just the volume of stuff that we have packed into this year, you cannot tell me that time is linear.
No, and Brian and I, before you got here, were looking at the March 4th issue.
Yeah.
Have you looked back at what it was compared to what it is now?
Oh, yeah.
And do you not remember sitting there saying, this is phenomenal. We are amazing.
And now you look at the March 4th one going, wow. We learned so much.
Did we really do this?
Like, this didn't look as good as we thought it did it? But
no.
That's because we've come from a place.
That's how much we've grown.
Yeah, it's because we've come from a place of more knowledge, right?
Well, exactly. And the content in there now is unreal. We need to pat ourselves on the back. We have done yes, you should. We've done a phenomenal, amazing job, and I'm so proud of the three of us.
Yeah, I think we're doing all right for ourselves.
Yeah. What's your Facebook page called?
It's called Rowan Water Sprite Creations on my Facebook page. And like I said, if you want to find my DeviantArt, my Discord, my Twitch, my Instagram, just look up Rowan Water Sprite, all one word, and they'll all come up.
And then for me, I don't know if anyone has seen.
Your Wanderer Creations.
Yes, I have Wanderer Creations where I create upcycled, energy-infused, handcrafted jewelry. I also do custom pieces, so if anyone's looking for something unique for Christmas, definitely get in touch with me, and that's on Facebook. I am not Facebook savvy. The Wand Facebook page, that's all Lynn. It just, you know what, me and technology, electronics, we're not friends. We're really not.
Apparently, I'm not friends with your technology either. That's why the stuff is backwards on the announcement.
Yes, and
I don't know what happened.
So I'm going to attempt to create, I keep calling it a calendar. It's a 2020 affirmation cards. Not necessarily a calendar, but it's a daily affirmation. So it's kind of like a calendar, just without the time constraint.
So it's an interactive graphic. So
I'm hoping.
It'll have, well, I have a feeling I know where we can actually source that. So ultimately, your vision would be you want to have all the affirmations in there.
Yes.
Kind of like, you know, those little things that you do where you take a screenshot and it has the screenshot of your affirmation. Well, this would be something where it would cycle through and you just tap on the screen or you click if you're on a computer and it'll pop up with your affirmation for that day.
With the option to print.
Mm-hmm.
So you can print these cards out as well if you don't want to do it on the computer and shuffle them or have them however you want. But my plan is to have them so that you get a different affirmation every day. The one that, you know, instead of it being January 1st, this is your affirmation. Not everyone needs the same affirmation on January 1st.
Oh, definitely.
So I want it to be able to, I want it, the one that resonates with you, the one that the message the universe wants you to have is the one I want you to get. So there is something about that pinned to the top of our Weekly Wand Facebook page. So if you're interested, definitely let me know there. Like I said, it's going to be an interactive thing, hopefully. Well, I guess it is.
Yeah.
We've planted the seed. So it's going to be an interactive.
It already is. We just
affirmation. Yeah. That will be ready in time for Christmas. So that as well makes a perfect Christmas gift. And do we have any other news that we need to discuss?
I don't know.
Do you have anything else you want to share?
Other than the fact that I'm really stoked that I'm going to be at Twilight Frames in Stony Plain.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
And when do you, when is your stuff going to be
She's
showcased?
setting up, the showcase, so I'm doing the artist showcase is going to be in August of 2020. But she's actually setting up a shelf right now with some of my journals and candles and stuff like that. So
You didn't bring anything to show, did you?
I sure did not. They're all in my truck, though. No, I didn't. I'm just super
Thanks,
excited.
Tony. You're amazing too.
Yeah.
And we're planting. I think Tony should come on.
Yes.
That was something else I want to put out there. Anyone that wants to have Tea with the Universe, please email me at teawiththeuniverse@gmail.com. I would love to have you as a guest. As you can tell, we just sit here and yap and can I say shit?
Well, you can.
We just shoot the shit.
I'm like, you might want to be careful with some of the other ones, though, because if we get monetized, that video will become demonetized. So,
I don't use other words.
Right.
Someday would love to make it up that way to see you guys. We would love that, Leah.
Yeah, that would
That
be
would
awesome.
be wonderful.
Mhm.
And again, I invite anyone out there that wants to have Tea with the Universe. There is always room on my couch.
And then, too, when we do our Thursday live streams, if there's any card readers out there
Yeah.
that would like to kind of connect with us and see if we can.
We don't mind having
somebody
guest
else.
speakers on,
Yeah.
or guest readers, or healers, or whatever you call yourself.
Yeah. No, I
Mhm.
think that would be all right.
I think so too. And then also, I'm hoping to have a YouTube channel up soon. But again, not internet savvy, not computer savvy. I am savvy. They just don't like me. They don't work for me. I know what I'm doing.
Do you?
No, I really don't, Lynn.
I've tried helping you. I know that.
You've tried doing it on your own.
You're so high maintenance. No, I have a couple things all set up and ready to go, actually.
Are you reading anything in here? Or do you have to drink a little bit
I was
more?
going to say, you probably have to drink a little bit more of that.
Impromptu reading.
Yeah, why not? I'm like listening to the Christmas music on.
Are you guys enjoying the Christmas music? 'Tis the season.
If you can hear it. I don't know if I can hear it.
I don't know. And the outfits. I would have turned my hat on because his nose blinks, but it is the first day of
Fruitcake.
December.
Who doesn't like fruitcake?
Me.
I don't like fruitcake either.
Do you like those candies? You know those ones, the pink ones that are licoricey, and the black ones with those little candy things on top.
Are you talking about like the chewy licoricey things that have the little beads on them?
Yes.
I love those.
Oh my
things.
God. I'm not going to make the noise I would normally make because we're still on camera. Thank
Yeah,
you, Tony.
don't want to gross anybody out, right?
Okay. I know I had a teacup.
You mean the one that I'm holding?
Oh my God.
I love you,
my
Cynthia.
God. Look at how red my face is.
My face is red for you. Oh dear. Take a sip of water. And it'll be fine.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to do that.
Well, the one thing that I'm getting from this, I can't say on camera. So I'll give you back your teacup you can't seem to find.
On that note,
That was cute. That was good.
I was panicking because I was like, where did it go?
It time traveled into the future.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Mommy needs a glass of wine.
Are you sure you needed it? Isn't that how we started this? Maybe instead of tea with the universe, you can have wine with
Oh,
the
I've thought
universe.
about it. I have thought about.
Well, we could do Tea with the Universe on Sundays and then do Wine with the Universe like Friday or Saturday night.
Tea with the
Friday
Universe
night?
on Sunday and wine with. Do we want to have wine with the universe?
Wine with the Winos?
You know how many people will show up to that? Everyone.
Yes.
Like the Friday night cocktail hour.
That could work.
Friday night cocktail hour. That is something we can think about.
Definitely.
Oh, we're like 6 days away from Friday.
You can still have wine tonight. It's fine. I'll give you permission.
Thank you.
I
Is it time to go?
don't know. I think so. I think now we're just being
Are we
Just-
cracking the wine?
well.
I don't have any wine.
You just did.
I did. Yeah.
Would you like a little cheese with your wine? All right. Anyway.
Okay, so big changes coming to the wand.
It's like, cut it off. Let's go.
My 2020 affirmation cards. Again, you'll find some information on that on the Weekly Wand page pinned to the top. Lynn is going to be advertising at
Oh, all my stuff's gonna be at Twilight Frames.
Twilight
in
Frames
Spruce- or in Stony Plain.
Stony Plain.
And I'm doing year-end readings too. So it's like
Okay.
what's coming up for 2020.
You will, Tony. You'll be a guest. Oh, and next Sunday, because I am at a market, I think I'm just going to have Brian on and we're going to do little in and outs maybe. Instead of one segment of Tea with the Universe, it'll just be, hey, we're here at,
Yeah, where are you going
where
to be?
am I? We're here at the Last Minute Holiday Blitz on Saturday. No, that's Sunday at the Pavilion Heritage Park, 5141 Ave Stony Plain. Come down, get a reading, or get some Christmas gifts. And December 7th, we'll be at the Abbott School 3rd Annual Holiday Shopping Palooza from 10 to 2 at 12045 34th Street in Edmonton. So I would love to see you guys come out, shop, spread some Christmas cheer. I'll have candy canes.
Candy canes are good.
They
You're
are.
gonna have different flavored candy canes, or you're like strictly peppermint.
Thanks. Now I have to get different flavored candy canes.
Not everybody likes peppermint.
And I think, are we forgetting anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think we are either.
And even if we are, you could do another post.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So thank you for joining us today.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fun.
And don't worry, Tony, you'll get over your shyness once you
And-
get on camera.
We'll just put wine in your teacup.
Ooh.
I know, what a great idea.
How come I didn't get? Oh, right, because you don't have anyone.
I could have given you vodka or spiced rum.
Well, it's not too late.
It's not.
Anyway.
We may be back later.
All right. Okay.
Let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap this shit up. Oh yes. Right. I'm still allowed to say that.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to be a guest on Tea with the Universe, please send me an email to teawithuniverse@gmail.com. Take care, enjoy your week, and see you next Sunday. Thanks for being here, Lynn.
Namaste.